This is my 15.2 injuries physiological video. So this is what actually physically happens to your body and what your body goes through during an injury. Different types of injuries as well. Okay, so the first one is sprain. So a sprain is mainly associated with joints and ligaments. So there are different types of grades of sprains. This could happen in different joints and ligaments, such as your ankle or your knee. Those are the main common ones with sports, especially with football, stuff like that. So a grade one sprain is a stretch. So this is where there's little tearing in the injury. There's a lot of there's some swelling, but however, there's some good stability, and it happens within your body. So then there's a grade 2 tear. This has the broadest range of movement. It has moderate instability, severe swelling as well. And then there's a grade 3 rupture. So this could be the ligament is completely ruptured, the joint is completely unstable, there's other tissue damage around the body, and it's normally lateral, so you can see it outside. Sprains normally occur during, they could be self-done, so this could be just like rolling your ankle, something like that. But if there was to say a rupture or grade tear, that could be caused by someone else or the grounds being poor. So if you got your foot stuck in a pothole, you could turn it there, or someone running into the back of your hitting you really hard in the front of your knee, that could cause a sprain rupture, stuff like that. Next one is strains. So this is more muscles and tendons. So this is where this happens more in muscles, so like biceps, quadriceps, and then tendons around the muscles, which can also get hurt as well. So grade 1 is a pull. So this is where you pull is where you it's a very slight twinge of the muscle or tendon. This is where it's just slightly pulled, so there's a bit of soreness, but you're able to carry on, still have the range of movement, still have the ability to use it. Next one is a tear. So this is a slightly worse one. This could be where the muscle is it can still be it can't be used. It's still got a higher range of movement, but there's a lot of pain, redness. It normally happens inside, so you can't really see what's going on. But it's not able to use, and you'd have to stop what sport you're doing. And then a grade 3 is a rupture. This is the most serious one. So this is where the muscle is completely torn, or the tendon is completely detached. This causes the most swelling, the most pain. You can see it outside. You can see the injury actually happen. This is the worst one. Takes the longest to recover. It's just all around possibly the worst one. Okay, moving on to hematomas. So when you hurt yourself, what normally happens is, so an example would be bleeding. So an acute injury, damaged tissue bleeds to the surrounding tissues. So the amount of bleeding depends on obviously the type and severity of the injury. But what the actual collection of the blood outside the blood vessels is called a hematoma. So the actual collection you can see in the example of the picture up there. So what an intramuscular hematoma is where the blood escapes to the surrounding tissue. So it's in different muscle compartments. So you can actually see the injury outside. It's in different places. This is for more serious ones, serious injuries that happen. So like completely tearing your pec, you could see it possibly run down your whole arm, depending on what side it is. An intermuscular hematoma is where there's bleeding within the muscle department, so it doesn't go right to the surrounding tissues and only stays into the muscle that is injured. So that's the difference between them. Okay, so moving on to the blood clotting mechanism. So when you cut yourself, you obviously bleed, but if there was no blood clotting mechanism, you would constantly bleed and you'd end up bleeding out and dying. So this mechanism helps your body keep the blood in and keep you alive. So the first stage is platelets. So the platelets are activated through a chemical reaction from sending it to your brain and back down, knowing that you've cut yourself. This is all automatic. You don't control any of this. So what the platelets do is just cause this bit of stick. So make so where the cut is, it starts sticking, trying to clot. Next is the clotting clotting factors. So this is where it reinforces that sticky platelets and makes it stronger, makes it more stable. Then next comes the fibrin. So this acts as a glue to bind it together to kind of pull in the cut itself and make sure it's kind of like stuck together, sealed. And then the fourth is other cells. This is where it reinforces and completely pulls in that cut to make sure it fully heals and allows the skin to heal and come back together. Next is the 3 stages of healing. So the 3 stages of healing are inflammation, repair, and remodeling. Inflammation is the response to stop tissue and to stop dead or dying tissue and allows new tissue to grow. So this normally happens 2 to 5 days of an injury. This is the most painful part. So this is the immediate reaction to an injury. This normally includes redness, swelling, and pain. So this is what happens when you first get injured. The next stage is repair. This is the main part where the injury heals itself. So this normally lasts 4 to 7 weeks. This is where you regain the strength, stability, and range of motion, but there's still a bit of soreness, a bit of swelling. You can't fully use it. And then the final stage is remodeling. This normally lasts for 1 to 6 months. You're able to play and train again, but it's just the forming of scar tissue occurs, so you still got to be careful. It's healed, but it's not fully repaired, so it's not fully done.